up, everybody? Welcome back to Microtopia. Um, if you haven't watched the last couple episodes, we've made a lot of progress, a lot of solid progress in this series. I highly suggest checking them all out if you want to get caught up with what we're doing now. We've made these much more complex um, trails to make sure that we don't, overuse our supplies and whatnot. But there's danger in complexity, right? The way this is set up, basically we have created a loop right here. And again, we have to think about it in a logical way that's similar to computer programming. We're doing, if-then statements. We're doing all kinds of different things like that. And if you notice here, we've made a condition that, if they enter in, if there's enough space on the stockpile, they'll enter here. They'll try to walk through here, which isn't assigned to anything, unfortunately. What are we making here? Okay. Well, that was not even complete. This whole thing wasn't even completed. Okay, and we need to make... That's right. We haven't finished everything yet, but if you can see here, we've created a loop, and that's because we've done this in the wrong order, in the wrong direction. We have them entering and going back along the loop, and then entering and going back along the loop that goes this way. So this will need to be erased and rethought out, and we'll do that. But we need screws here. We need a... We need wire. We need screws. Yep, that's right. And right now we're only getting screws imparted from the main island, which, it's okay, but it's, I like the idea of having an interconnected web of goods, but I feel like we're getting a little ahead of the game with that because, ultimately the reality is every one of these islands can, and it really should become self-sufficient. Eventually we're going to be able to move this setup and incubator setup anywhere we want on the island to colonize, clear up stuff, and then replace them with our pod workers and do it again and again and again. And that's sort of what I'm realizing we're going to need to do as I continue to play this game to in order to maximize the resources that we can get, I guess. Right. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start out there. And I believe I started a timer. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. And we're gonna make some screws, but this one is gonna be, I think, wire first. I feel like that's more important. Let's start there. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna start with our stockpile gates. We're gonna make sure that there's enough space in the stockpile, the production stockpile. So we're going to change that to say less than, let's say 355. And then we'll check to make sure that there's, just more than 0 in here. And then we'll start making our our trail. And we like this one because it allows us to account for many conditions, right? That's the name of the game, to account for as many conditions as possible. So that's how you automate in this game, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So some of the conditions, of course, are old age. Some of the conditions are the amount of items that's in this stockpile, and we should use this one if we have one. Where's our stockpile for here? This is the one we should be using. And we want to use that one because it's already tied to the airport, right? Okay. We also need to make light bulbs still. And yeah, I think we're doing good. And this is unnecessary because, you know, we've learned how to do these things properly. We learned how to do these things properly now, instead of just having them enter whenever they feel like it. We will assign them to the stockpile, and you know, if there's less than 335 because they got a long life, then 5 of you can enter and make your way through there. Let's see, what does it take to use the slingers? Okay, so we'll need to bring some stuff. We'll need to continue producing goods here. That's exactly. Okay. So let's finish this trail up. Because, you know, again, we're trying to account for all the conditions, and another one of the conditions is what if they make it to the elderly gate carrying something? It's a rare occurrence, but it may happen. And we want to avoid them having to deal with, or we want to avoid ourselves having to deal with that situation. Sorry about that. I actually heard the whistling in my headset. Sorry. Okay. Another thing we need to account for, of course, is that they will, and this is another place that you could get yourself trapped. If we say enter this and then exit on the same node, they will run back in there, and that's something we need to avoid. So that's why I have elected to go with on the other side there. So we already talked about this condition that is going to be tied to the total amount we would like to see in there. And if it's more than 375, then we would like them to leave. We just want to, you know, a decent size in there. We want to be able to create things on this island, such as, such as diodes. We want to be able to, and I might run this one on the inside. I might run these on the inside. What do you think? Like this? Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so yeah, we want to have enough goods on this island to be able to create whatever we want. You know, we want to be able to create multiple new pod workers. Good number is about 30 to 35. They can, and that can support a lot of stuff, right? We can't quite do that yet because we still need to mine out all this glass. And I mean, I'm just planning for the future when I say these things, but you know, eventually that is the plan, right? That's why we have this on a timer gate every 5 minutes, and we can probably up that because we don't need so many right away. There's the light bulb supply. We don't need that because we have this one, and we'll use that in our production. In fact, we can make that now. Let's try here. Let's try here. And we can get away with a little bit of messiness, right? Because we're not on the grid. But we want to get there as soon as possible. Yeah, okay. That's much better. Okay, I like that. There we go there. Oh, and we missed one thing. We have to do this part. Otherwise our trail will not be correctly counted. And that is an issue that plagues us. You know, it plagues us, really. And we want to avoid that as much as possible. If you've been watching this series, you know what I'm talking about. And speaking of that, thanks for everybody that watches this series. It truly means a lot to me. I am grateful. Thanks for all the likes. You know, they're not regular, but I'm grateful for them nonetheless. And you know, I'm really enjoying making this series, as this game is really good, you know. And yeah, I like playing it a lot. I like thinking about it, you know, ways to solve the things that you come up with in the game, you know. And yeah, not quite enough. Sometimes if you have trouble with it snapping to the wrong nose and stuff, if you zoom in, it's easier. You don't like facing this way, why? How dare you? Okay, we'll move over a little bit. How about like that? Does that make you happy? For the 5th time? Let's go, baby! Okay. So now what are we going to do? We are going to enter our stockpile gate. We are going to enter yet another stockpile gate. And then we'll have our one little auntie going to work. Whoops. Just like that. Alright, we'll check our trail. Of course, we forgot the counter end gate. Check our trail. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, the first thing, of course, set the condition for how many light bulbs need to be in there before they will not come in. Next condition, set if there's any glass. And the last condition...
Is there a reason why you just left Luca's closet open with all those clothes in the way?
Sorry. Set the end condition here. In case there's too many in there, we don't want to be in there for too long. Alright. So now we can work on... We can let them go a little bit, I think. You know, every time you start the game up, you know, there's something new to find. And I want to do this, actually. Sorry. And maybe from here we'll do one. Because again, you want to have them on every side, basically. And we'll do it. And we'll do it here. Okay, I see. I see. And then we can go directly in from there. Perfect. And from here... Actually, I don't like that. But we really need to save this space first. We need to see how we're gonna... And we could probably do it over here, huh? Yeah, we could probably do it over here. Like that. Okay. Let's take a look now. So we have a stockpile gate. We have another stockpile gate. And then we have another stockpile gate. Okay. There we go. We can do it like this. Then, 1, 2. Oh, I don't like that. Like that. Mm-hmm. That better? And really they should enter here, huh? Yeah. That's why I started it over there. Okay. I actually like the center more. I just think it's more aesthetically pleasing. And then we can do our exit condition here. like this. Okay, alright, so what's the first thing we're going to look for? How many are in there? If there's less than, say, 300. We don't want too many. Or not that we don't want too many, but at this point we don't need too many. So we don't want to overspend. And we still did not make a single of the other ones, did we? Okay, I think we can do it here. We're running out of space. So we're going to have to make some space. Okay. And we just want to make sure that there's one in there to use. And this one we'll make a stockpile and we'll use that. Or we can, you know what we can do? We don't even need to do that actually, because we've set ourselves up, right? We can just do this. And I don't think we make enter if there's more than, let's say one. Let's leave one screw on reserve for whatever these guys are. The small digger ants. But if there's more than one in there, get to work on this. And I feel like that's the smart thing to do. And I'm proud of ourselves for setting it up in a way that we've, you know, we are bootstrapping ourselves over here, but we're setting ourselves up for success in that same way. Not just, you know, like bringing one or two or just enough over. You know, we want to make sure that we always have enough stuff. Yep. Because it's only gonna continue to grow, our colony, and yeah, if we have a good foundation, then we can be successful, and that's, I find, the most important thing. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's let it play a little bit. I really like this outpost here. I think it's done well. But okay, I found another thing that we need to do really quickly, sorry. But we need to set the stockpile conditions. It's too important, it's too critical. You know, here, only enter if there's less than, you know, 350. And then you can go. And we'll put 5 in there, because they will get stuck in there, and we don't want that. And the same thing for this one. How many do we have in there? 15. Great. Okay, let's just do this. Make sure that they're on there. Yeah, okay. So we want stockpile gate. Then we want counter gate. Okay. And this stockpile will say, if you're here and there's less than 300, go in there. Now, what does that mean? We can get rid of this. And instead, what we can do is if there is more than, say, you know, 385, get out of there. And come back. Come back and hang out. Because we don't really need you wasting time in there. I mean, I think we're at the point where we've reached parity, right? With and this is going to be kind of brutal, but I think we can make it. Okay, let's do it like that for now. And again, it's just all over the place because we don't have the tiled infrastructure to organize our base properly. But I think we've reached parity. I don't think it's... Let's play it for a moment now. maybe if we put more slingers, if we put more slingers, that might help. We have 2. Could put one more here, maybe. Let's see, how much do we have enough of this stuff? Yeah, we do. Go like this. And we'll stop these. Stop this one. Yeah, okay, I like that now. Because we want to try and use the slingers. They are handy. I mean, the carry gates are nice only for the elders, you know? But, yeah, slingers are OP. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, okay. And let's see. Let's watch this number and see how low it gets. If it lowers at all. Looks like we have enough ants in there. Maybe eventually we'll start increasing the amount in that stockpile. I just realized I can't hear anything in this in the game audio. Give me a second. It says something about being muted, but it was muted. Okay. Spent almost 30 minutes and I didn't realize. Okay, looks like we've got our digger ants going again, which is nice. I don't know, you guys like the soundtrack in this game? I really like the soundtrack in this game. I think it's really good. There we go. Just a little bit more organization, you know. Straight line's good and all that. Alright, I'm liking it. We have quite a few here, which is terrifying. This is not what we want here. Or is it? Because we are gonna need 2 kinds of these. So maybe we can change this a little bit. We'll add another one of these. And let's do this, because I want to change how we operate. I want to change how we operate this whole setup too. I think this is the last thing that we'll need to do before we are ready to begin Gine production, aside from I'm sorry, aside from just getting the building built. We might be able to do it now. We don't have any glass on here. Okay. Hopefully we start bringing glass back. Yeah. What's the criteria? Oh, okay. Let's do 100 on all of these. Just so we can get stuff going. Alright, that's set to a decent amount. Those are set to decent amounts too. What happened, Papa? What happened? You hurt your hand? Oh, Bam Bam, go get Bam Bam. I'll put it on you. Okay. Sorry. Gotta do what you gotta do, you know? How are we supposed to get that one out of there? Hmm? How are we supposed to... Oh, like this? Beautiful. Okay. Oh yes, don't start until you know what you're doing. Get all these guys over here for a sec. And we're gonna do something like this. Something like this. Like this. And then if you are a... If you become a... Bam Bam? Okay. I put it on you. Where do you need it? That hand? Ouchie. Here, give me your hand. On your finger? Hand? Oh, I see it right here? Okay. No better, Papa. I love you. And then we're gonna do this really quick. Sorry. Again. Duty calls, you know. Okay. Now these guys can go here. And what are we gonna do with this one? Well, we are gonna start making pod worker 2s because that is the last thing we need before we'll be able to get this process started. We can make everything else, or every other type of ant, I should say. We can create aside from this. And what are we going to need? We're going to need to place a dispenser. And the only reason why we're able to bring this one online is because we have started our airport and this, you know, micro colony on our micro outpost on the other island, just to supply ourselves with tier 2 energy. Because we also have this objective to complete, and once we do, it opens up a whole new mechanic. Hey, baby. Hi. How's your hand? Good. I'll be right. I'm almost done. Okay. And then we'll hang out. It unlocks a whole new mechanic, energy storage, which is just what it sounds like. Basically, create batteries. Hopefully, these all live. But yeah. And what's the difference between energy pod 2s? 7 minutes 25, and these have 5 minutes, or 7:30 and 5 minutes. So you get a little bit longer lifetime out of them. And this will sort itself out. If some of them die, some of them die. What are you doing over there, little baby? It looks like this is going to be the end of the episode, though. We are... Why did you not go in there? What the hell? If less than 0? Greater than 0? Yeah. Okay. Get your little booty back over here. Take this. I wonder how long that's been that way. What is this? And where is it going? Over here? Perfect. We don't even need any more. Green? Yeah. Green car. Good job. Okay, so we can start bringing stuff over here too. What are we bringing already? Screws. We can start bringing plates again. What's this say here? He already knows. I like that one. That's a cool one. Yeah. Let's do this. Will be the last thing we do here. Let's make sure it's set to the correct stockpile. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the screws. And which one is the plates? Perfect. Okay. Let's set these a little bit lower. What, baby? What? Red car. Beautiful. Perfect. Let's set these. This one doesn't have a stockpile. What is this supposed to be? Nothing? We don't know. This one is supposed to be plates, if I'm not mistaken. Plates, yep. Okay. There's, yeah. That's fine. We want to, this is in a way that it supplies this before it supplies the other one, even though they're already set up independently. This will take more, I guess. So maybe we don't want that. Let's set it to 50. We still want to have, you know, a decent amount in here for ourselves. And what is this set to? Is this set to 375? Yeah, okay. We don't even need that many, but, you know. We have a insane amount of iron, and we can get rid of it easily enough. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff here. And let's see what... we still need to clear some space out. So, thanks for watching. In the next episode, maybe we'll start clearing some stuff out. And we'll be able to begin at least construction on the Guide Cocoon. So don't forget to watch the next one. Watch some of the last ones if you want to learn a little bit more about how we've set things up in this playthrough. Until then, catch you in the next one. Take care.